Hey, I'm here with the Earthquakes from Melbourne, Australia. How are you guys?
Good.
Very well, thanks.
Nice to see you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. First thing I want to say is thank you for reaching out to my email because I know the format may sound a little Spanish, but I assure you when you clicked on the link, you saw that it was something that related to what you were doing, right?
We jumped straight onto your channel, and yeah, it was clear you were in our sphere as far as genre goes. So, and yeah, an impressive collection of content you've got on there, Ryan. I got to say.
Oh, thank you. And
Hundreds of videos. I haven't watched them all yet. I'm trying. I'm working my way through.
There's a lot. But
There's a lot.
from your guys' area, there's Martin Cilia and also McLeod from can't think of the name. What's the name of the band?
Any ideas?
No.
Alex McLeod. He's from Australia as well.
Yeah, right.
Jamie Balcombe.
Yes, yeah. I thought we're connected on social media. He's doing a lot of similar work with like local community radio, motion and stuff. Yeah, so I'll follow his pages as well. So it's good to see all this activity. It's fun to be a part of.
The more every year it seems like there's a couple more outlets that kind of pop up and are kind of like a platform or sounding board for surf. And I want to know how that, I don't know, kind of looks to you as far as an outlook for surf music.
Well, I guess where we're coming from, surf is an obvious influence for us. It permeates our sound. But at the same time, I guess in our scene here in Melbourne and broadly in Australia, it's such a melting pot. And I guess, with the smaller population compared to like America or Europe, you get, rockabilly cats hanging out with the surf dudes. You get punks in there as well. Like it's a bit, each scene kind of bleeds into each other. So I guess we're coming from at least Nick and I are coming from a punk background back in the day. So this is a new exploration for us, is the surf scene. We've been around a lot of rockabilly and stuff like that. I guess if you're talking in pure surf rock terms, there's probably not heaps.
Not heaps, but it's been interesting to see this sort of little scene that is in Melbourne, but it's not a big scene. It's quite sort of insular, but it's interesting to see all the people that turn up to gigs.
Yeah, because you could say, I guess, in a sense, just looking at the crowd, it's been insular, as Nick mentioned, but at the same time, quite thriving.
Yeah,
it's thriving and active, and you see the same faces. They're appreciative of the sound, and it's positive to be part of.
Yeah,
and we've had some feedback the sound is accessible, right? It's a classic sound.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah, people can identify with that mid-century vibe. And it appeals to people from all walks of life, So it's not like, the punk scene where it's like, you listen to punk rock and that's it.
Yeah.
You're not cool if you don't. You know what I mean? So relax and acceptable.
Yeah. I think my specific Generation X was less about, listening to punk rock and that's cool. We all listen to different kinds of music. I would say in the early 80s, it was definitely one or the other. Even hardcore, you didn't listen to hardcore and punk, you were one or the other,
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I guess within the surf community, there are people who love to experiment implementing different genres into surf music. And then there's traditionalists. And then while I love all of it, I want to know what your take is on it and what you think of, traditional surf music as opposed to, the experimental and the horror, goth, spooky theme and the spy and sci-fi.
Yeah. I think in terms of traditional surf guitar music, myself definitely grew up listening to stuff like The Shadows and The Atlantics, thanks to like my parents' taste in music, and the sort of the sound that was sort of revolving around major bands like that. But I think as we've sort of gotten a little bit older, and obviously there's accessibility, and you can find out about other subgenres of surf.
Yeah, I'm fascinated with that early 60s period, 61 to 65, where there's just a flood of, people making 45s out of their garage.
Yeah, so much stuff.
Hundreds of records to discover. And it's a bit garage, it might be a bit surf, it might be a bit this and that. So I guess for me, it's more about that period, that mid-century period, as opposed to strictly surf music. I mean, in the end, our sound has developed naturally as a surf sound, but with all these other influences in there too.
Yeah. Gotcha. How about you, sir?
What's that? Sorry.
He's talking to you, Fred.
As in, I guess, if in my opinion, I guess we could think, as these have said, like we use it as a basis for creating our music, and we use it as the bass influence, but at the same time, there's subtleties of other genres and other influences. So, I guess to an extent, I don't know, call me cliche, but I think we use it as a base, but at the same time, branch off into like, I don't know, your go-go, and as you mentioned, your spy and those sorts of things. So it's helpful to be, using it as a platform for other genres and being creative in that sense. Yeah.
But this is all brand new for all of us, like playing this kind of music. And like Andrew was saying, we came from the punk scene, and Fred's come from something completely different as well. So, we're able to take a lot of different influences.
Yeah. I guess, from a personal sense, I'm not really from the surf scene or anything specific. I've just been sort of moonlighting from time to time.
You got roped into it.
Indeed. Yeah. So there's a funny story there, but at the same time, like...
Tell it.
Well, I guess the formulation of the band, like I was thinking sort of, what could be some lively questions or anything for tonight. And I think, the funny thing about how it's all come together was about a year or so ago, I sort of put the feelers out as a bass player relatively new to Melbourne. And I just said, what exactly, are there any people out there who are interested, keen of, getting something together? Had a few bites, so to speak. And Andrew sort of reached out, and I remember fairly vividly, like, he was messaging from Japan. I was in the middle of a school excursion because I'm a school teacher by trade. And like we were backwards and forwards, and it was from there, it was like, let's try one time. And to digress a little bit, the first time we actually had a jam was the day after I went to a Limp Bizkit concert, of all things. So...
Yeah, I had a few question marks at that point. But you won the day.
Yeah. So, like coming from that, like, answering a sort of Facebook group advertisement, going from there, and, these guys have known each other for oodles of years, but, I only met these guys relatively new in the scene, relatively new in the piece, and we've come together and, as you've reached out, Ryan, you obviously recognise that there's a bit of quality there, and not to toot our own horns, but we recognise that there's a bit there ourselves, So
yeah, to give you some context, Ryan, Nick and I have known each other since we were teenagers. Mucking around in the punk scene, playing psychobilly as well. And we were always playing music, but never in the same band. And that was like over 20 years ago. And basically, I'm coming off a 20-year hiatus. I haven't played or performed since my early 20s because I decided to be a bloody chef for a living. So surfing and rock and roll. Although I still kind of do it. Anyway, so call it midlife crisis or whatever, but like I turned 40 and went, buying a new amp, I'm buying a new guitar, I'm going to explore this new genre. And I said to this guy, come on man, let's have a jam. So we were just mucking around and I just started writing songs and just had this creative splurge. And then I put an ad on like a Facebook group, you know, and yeah, we hit gold. And it's just, everything's happening really quick. So yeah, it's awesome.
That's what I love. I've noticed over the last 4 or 5 years that people are just saying go for it, and they're starting surf bands, and they're connecting with other people that are interested in making surf music, and they're like sprouting up all over the world. And
like there's definitely people out there that you know, are into it, but not that many bands, you know.
Yeah. But there will be because there's a lot starting out right now.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the genre in general. Like, you know, it's a timeless genre. You know, like you can throw on like, you know, to say the Spotify day of the mix, if you will. You throw on like, you know, surf. It sounds from the 50s and the 60s, and it's still, you know, it's still relevant today. You know what I mean? It's still, you know, something you get into. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people.
Accessible for a lot of people.
Yeah. There are some days where I'm watching TV and the commercials come on, and I'm like, "Is that surf music?" Like on the background. Like I'm hearing that more and more. It's becoming like, you know, this subtle vibe that people are putting in television and I was like, oh well, that's really cool. Like I hope everybody's picking up on that.
Well, yeah, only the cool people pick up on that, like us.
Nice. So I want everybody to know there's going to be a link in the description to your Bandcamp page. But I want you to tell people what they're going to get when they go to your Bandcamp page and they see your EP. By the way, I love the artwork.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, there was a dear friend of mine.
Kind of like the racing stripe kind of thing, and
yeah.
But tell people that 4-song EP. You know, it's pretty amazing. Describe it and tell us the process.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll start with the artwork while that's on my brain. So, dear friend of mine, Sasha, amazing artist, is a cartoonist. And yeah, he kind of knows my brain and knew the vibe I was going for. So, yeah, that worked out really well. As for the recording, again, everything happened so quickly. You know, we had, by that point, 8 or 10 songs maybe. And that was kind of my strategy. You know, I figured before we get out there and start gigging, it's a demo, right? That's what it is.
Right.
EP, whatever you want to call it. It's a recording. So we decided to do that first to get gigs, basically, and just get our sound out there, which has paid off because we've started gigging pretty much immediately, which is great. So yeah, I guess at the time we just, you know, it was recorded by a guy called Anthony Cornish at Horizon Sound. So a bit of a backyard setup, pretty lowbrow. We did the whole thing in about 5 hours. 1 hour mix down. And then another old friend of mine who's quite a talented sound engineer and producer, he did the mastering, a fellow called Julian Q. So yeah, it was a bit of a team effort. But yeah, again, it just happened so quickly and we kind of just picked 4 songs, found a free Sunday, went, you know, in this guy's backyard and we had an EP. Like, yeah. So yeah, we're pretty pleased with it.
There's a couple of... Sorry, you go.
No, you go right ahead.
I was going to say, you know, there's a couple of faster tracks, a couple of mid-tempo tracks. And I think it's our best interpretation of, surf guitar. And you know, it's a credit to Andrew's songwriting. I think it's hit the nail on the head, I think.
Yeah, and I guess like you'll hear, you know, in that the Sirens Mirage, you know, it was a kind of almost spaghetti western, quite atmospheric. So we chose the songs with a contrast. So yeah, like Nick said, a couple of quicker ones, one a bit more moody, and one that makes you want to dance. You know.
Yeah. It's it was like I was hearing it overnight in my head, and then when I woke up this morning, I was like I had to listen to it again because I was so stoked. And
thank you.
Yeah, it was really, really exciting. And by the way, I can't wait to review it, and I can't wait to hear your rehearsal video. Hopefully it's maybe a song that's not even on there. I don't know.
There's a couple of new ones. Big preview. This is Earthquake's exclusive with My Records. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
We haven't even played a couple of these ones live yet, so they're hot off the press.
Oh wow! Thank you. So what the process is, and I'll tell you and the viewers so they understand a little bit, is what I'll do to you is reach out to you for an interview and pose this opportunity for me to review your song or your music, and you to do a rehearsal video and possibly a gear video and whatever. And what I'll do is make like a YouTube playlist, just like Spotify or anything, a YouTube playlist from our channel specific to your band. And then you could just send that link out to, you know, clubs or whatever, managers, record labels, and they could just go in there and see what you do. And it's like awesome. A press gig, you know?
Fantastic.
Well, yeah, thanks again for the opportunity. It's, we jumped on it.
Yeah, I was very happy. Always love to have somebody, you know, good people from the other side of the world, you know, literally.
Yeah. Hence I screwed up the time difference.
Yeah, no. You know, that's part of the thing, you know? And it's just good to know that really, as far as music, it's same there as it is here. It's just the love of the music, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's universal.
Awesome. Thank you guys for being patient with the time and everything, and being so quick to respond and participate. You know, that means the world to me, because all I want to do is talk about music for real.
Yeah, awesome. And again, I'm super impressed with your setup. Like, yeah. It's gonna take some time to get through all your content, but what you're doing is great, and you know it's mutually beneficial, I think, right?
Absolutely.
It's for, we got to thank guys like you for getting out there, promoting people, you know, with the surf, and you know, obviously from the States but around the world as well. So no, we're really grateful for the opportunity. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. There's a guy in Brazil. Named Leopoldo Furtado, Emilio Navarra in Mexico, you know, Lorenzo, and then over here Jeff, big Tiki dude, like all over they got these guys spreading the word. John Blair, like all those guys. It would be, you know, great for you guys to reach out to them and you know, tell your friends in the music world to.
It's funny you mentioned that. I've made contact with Lorenzo actually, and I'm working really hard to get him out here on an Australian tour, which would be a first for Surfer Joe. So
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Watch this space. Yeah. But we're awesome. Be a dream to go with Surfer Joe.
That would be a huge win-win for everybody, because what they say is the international ambassador of surf music, right?
That's it. And in all seriousness, you know, as an example of contemporary surf music and that traditional style, like a huge influence on us.
He's amazing.
That's what got me excited about the genre, like really at the start of this project. If we can pull that off, I'd be stoked. Yeah, there he is up there. Hello, Enzo.
I bought that out of his hands. I bought it from
Oh,
him.
beautiful. Yeah.
Too good.
And that's like, I'll never get rid of that because of that moment.
Yeah, awesome. Good album too.
Yeah, great.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. You guys have a great rest of your day, man, or night.
Well,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you very much for having us. We really appreciate it.
I'll be in touch.
Don't forget to check out the channel's multitude of great resources. All that can be found in the description column of all our videos. Also, don't forget to check out contacts and information from this band. Also, a link to the exclusive behind the scenes that we do of our content. All our contact information, our mailing address, email, Facebook, Instagram. It's an interesting way to contact the band, support the channel. On your left, you'll see a really cool video for you guys to check out. On the right, there's a playlist for all this videos related to this this content you just watched here. And in the middle, the little Screamo girl, check out this subscription to our channel and support our cause, which is helping surf music.